Everyone. So today I'm going to do a short little video on changing out my shifter linkage on the ST. Cannot stand this thing, just feels real clunky. I don't like the way it looks and doesn't go with the flow that I'm looking for the way I want it to look and all that. So what I have purchased is Harley's edge cut, if you will, shifter linkage. And we'll see if we can get this to sit long enough for you guys to see that. And then we'll turn it this way, give you an idea there. Comes packaged when you buy it from Harley. I bought it on the website, so it came across like this. And let me open this up now. Dump this out. And comes with the linkage, little plate, bolts and nuts that you need. And we'll get this installed. Be back with you in a minute. All right. Okay, so once we open up the package, comes with the Harley bar and shield, right? Adjust those out for your spacing and everything there. Comes with a couple different bolts to replace it with. A little chrome bolt here, bolt nut that goes on the front of the shift lever. Also comes with this black sleeve that kind of goes over your shift linkage. Yeah, you can see back here towards the back. We'll get a closer look at it when we get through. Won't work on my bike because it's got the angled 90-degree lever that comes up from the crankcase. So won't be using that. We'll leave that off to the side. But just jumps in there and snaps some bolts on in there. So what I like to do with it first is kind of line it up. Take a look and see what the settings are for the existing one, how far off it is. And then based on the amount of room you have on either side, you can spin it in, spin it back, and try to get it close just to minimize the adjustments that you have to do once you get it in there and taking it back off and on and all this stuff like that. So back this off just a little bit more. It's easier to spin it off than it is to spin it in, if that makes sense. At least for me anyway. I've done about 4 of these. I really like this version. Feels very solid when you're shifting. I don't feel like there's much slop and play in it. And I enjoy the way they look on the bike. So, all right, that looks pretty close. So I got that kind of lined up where it's gonna go there. All set for that. And then we'll end up taking off this bolt, kind of keep a guess of where the setting is here because you're going to have to readjust it when it comes back on and bolts back in. But all we're really doing is just changing out this bar. Nothing else here gets infected because this has already got black and all that kind of stuff on there. So not a real tough job, pretty easy to do. Works out well for a nice look. So I'm going to move the camera around, get a little bit closer angle as we go through this. Cool. Okay, so now we got the camera re-angled. You can see that I have things kind of laid out a little bit here. Have the wrenches that I need, of course, gloves. You're going to want to make sure you have those. These fins are very sharp, and I have cut myself on those many times messing around with stuff around there, not intentionally doing it, but put some gloves on, it'll save you some skin. Got your Loctite, I've already got them on the bolts. You've got your nut, your washer, your new linkage. This is the old stock linkage. This is a 1/2-inch nut and a 7/16 inch bolt here and a 7/16 inch bolt here. We're going to take this one out, and then put the new one in. One thing I like to do when I'm doing this, I said before, try to get this lined up as best you can to see how close it is. When we take it off, we'll check it again off the bike just to make sure, and it keeps your shift lever in place so you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to readjust it and everything else. So let me readjust the camera a little closer to this view, and then we'll make it so we can see what's going on. All right, so we got the camera set up now, a little better view. Again, as you can see sitting down here, this is about where this is gonna go. It's gonna hook on one side here, And of course, probably doesn't need to say, make sure you got your logo up right. If you need a cheat, you can look right there and see what's going on there on your across your coil cover. All right, see there, or just pretty much anywhere on the bike. So what you're going to start out with, where you can really pick either one, you've got a 7/16 inch wrench that you're needed back here on this back bolt. And then on the front side, you have 7/16 here, and then a 1/2 inch here that you got to kind of hold with this one while you're trying to do it, right? So myself, I like to start with the back one. And wear gloves. These things are sharp, and I have slit my knuckles on them several times doing various things. It's not a lot of fun. It tends to get your attention real quick. All right, so just make sure that you have that going on and you know kind of what's covering there. So you can see you can go either direction here on the bolt. It threads in this way on a slide. So if you remember the old adage as a kid, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? It just kind of comes out that way. Pull this guy out. Okay, and once you get it out, you'll see your lever drop, right? So that's why you do a pre-adjustment, but you can see there it's got some Loctite on there, their version of it, right? So then this point, once you lay that down, now it's the other side. Just take 1/2 inch on that side, 7/16 on this side, and again, you'll be glad you have gloves. And just rinse this guy off. You get a finger loose. And also got some Loctite on that. Just put my hand underneath it to catch it. And there's your old linkage, right? So again, you can take and kind of measure up the new one, see how close you are with getting the distance right on it. That looks pretty darn close. Put this over here out of the way. Make sure I got my logo facing the right direction. So once you got the back piece on, take your linkage on this side, got your arm up, it goes on the back side here. You have your bolt with your Loctite and your washer. So put your washer on your bolt. Bring that through the back, like so. Bring it up through here. Get it going through that side there. Kind of feel how it's going to look. Kind of aligned a little bit. You feel, I like to test it to make sure I'm not getting any binding. So just a little bit right there. That's good. That pushed up there, you can see your movement. There we go. All right, so you can see kind of where your play is going to be. You want it to be kind of in the middle so that your logo doesn't get buried when you're shifting and moving. And I usually just take a wrench and hold it and give it a little tighten here to help hold it in place where I want it. If you really want to get crazy with it, you can do wrench to wrench and bind it, but I've not had them back off on me, so that's good. And then we will take our two 7/16 wrenches, because the new bolt is a 7/16, and we will tighten this guy up because we got Loctite on it. All right, it's got some good linkage play there. See how it feels. No binding, right? Shifts freely, so that's good. All right, and then once we get the bike down, I will get up on it and see where my foot sits and see if I need to twist this one back or this one forward to either extend or shorten that, which will give me the adjustment here in the linkage. But other than that, that's about it. Pretty simple. just a little, you know, time consuming on a few parts while you get it worked in and adjusted. But other than that, pretty simple thing, and it looks nice on the bike. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one. See you next time.